Morning guys, and well, super excited and a little bit nervous, just off on this year's annual challenge to do a 32k walk, or 30k walk, sorry, in the beautiful Parque de Sierras Cazorla, to raise some much needed funds and some sponsorship for the fantastic Walk for Life charity, a cancer charity based in Arboleas. We've got a 4-hour drive on our hands. It takes about 2 hours to get to the border, I suppose, of the park from Arboleas. But then once you're in the park, the kind of imagine Cornish lanes and very narrow, a lot of it's above cloud level, and you can only drive at about 25 kilometers an hour, so it takes an awful long time to go through. But it's a lovely journey, but well worth it. And you know, inside the park, stunning, you know, one of Spain's largest natural parks. It straddles 3 regions: Jaen, Almeria and Granada. There's countless towns within inside the boundaries, and you've got lakes, you've got rivers, you've got mountains, you've got amazing nature. So I'm gonna head up there now today, set up base camp if you like, and then tomorrow, hopefully weather permitting, because we're not sure what the weather's going to hold for us when we get up there, I'm off on this great big yomp, so I'll do some little films and videos and then splice them all together. So to get to the Cazorla Park, or Parque de Sierras, there's a lot of different ways, but I find the simplest is leaving Arboleas. You pick up the A334 past Albox in the direction of a place called Batha. Then just before Batha, you turn off onto the A92, and that will take you up to past the beautiful Embalse de Negritin, or otherwise known as the Baza Lakes, a great big expanse of water which is absolutely gorgeous. I believe that water levels have dropped drastically this year because it's been so warm and hot, but we've had a great deal of rainfall over the last few days, so possibly now they're back to normal levels. We'll see when we're up there. We're now an hour into the journey, and just coming up towards Batha, so I'll keep you posted as we go. So we've well and truly left Arboleas and Albox behind us and all the clamour and the clatter. We're just driving now past the Baza Lakes, the Embalse de Negritin, and it's really, you just feel like you're entering a different world now. I mean, the roads are a lot slower moving and everything else, and a bit more narrow and a bit more windy, but it takes you about kind of 25-30 minutes to drive around this expanse of water. It is very low, as I thought. You know, it's normally a lot higher level, but we've had hardly any rainfall so far this year. And carrying on now on this lovely windy road, and we'll go past a beautiful little town called Pozo Alcon, which is again a fantastic area of the natural park. You've got some wonderful forests there, more expansive, beautiful lakes, fishing, they do caving, potholing and everything up there. Just feel like you're breaking free. It feels fantastic. Wow guys, check out these backdrops, absolutely beautiful. But as you can see, the roads are very narrow and windy, and we're kind of climbing up and up and up as we go. Just absolutely beautiful though. Lovely driving, to be honest. You're not meeting very much traffic, obviously. If you've been to this area before, you'll agree with this, I'm sure, but there's some amazing walking and trails and whatever, but typically Spanish, not very well promoted or publicised. You know, they're kind of hidden. One of the best walks via kind of wonderful streams and waterfalls and everything is at the back of an old disused water building, and you know, there's only 2 parking bays for it. There's no signpost, so it's kind of a little bit kind of getting to know the locals and speaking to people, and then you find out about the existence of these places. And obviously, you know, maybe on the first visit you're kind of going to scratch the surface, but it's worth persevering because it is just absolutely stunning once you kind of get out of the car and get hiking. Now, the other thing this area is very famous for is hunting. It's full with wild boar. There's deer up here, and when you go to the restaurants, I don't think it's particularly great for vegetarians, but you know, lots of beautiful smoked trout is a favourite local dish. Wild boar, you know, sausages, steaks. Jabalí is wild boar, pig, that's the name for it in Spain and Spanish. You know, amazing cuts of meat and stuff like that. But and of course famous for its olive oil as well, which is genuinely its different dimension. I'm getting excited when we get to our kind of hotel stop. Then first thing on the agenda is check in and then get a very nice lunch, and I can't wait. And lots of the hotels and bars and stuff up here actually feed the wild boar, so after a lunch service or an evening meal, more likely the chef will come out of the kitchen with a bucket of slops and then bang the drum, and all these wild pigs families come out of the woodwork and have a little feast. I've never been to an area of Spain before where you can just be driving along a track and then turn around a corner and there's a great big stag with having a ruck with another stag, or whole families of wild boar just walking along by the side of the road, presumably going out for a dinner date. So we are genuinely right in the heart of the park now. We're heading to a lovely little town called Arroyo Frio, which is full of kind of lovely little rural hostels and holiday let apartments and stuff like that. Loads of cafes, restaurants and bars. But just look at this scenery, absolutely spectacular. Good spot for a car. Well, we've just arrived at base camp here, 4 kilometers outside of Arroyo Frio. Beautiful little hotel, Coto del Valle. Absolutely stunning. It's a kind of little spa hotel. Loving this kind of fountain here in the entrance. They've got a fantastic restaurant, so we're just going to go and avail ourselves of a nice little bit of lunch after an exactly 4-hour drive from Arboleas. Set in gorgeous gardens. You can see an outdoor pool there. They've got a wonderful indoor pool and spa as well. Absolutely beautiful. Have a bit of lunch now, and then we're going to drive the 20 kilometers to the start of the walk tomorrow and do a quick recce of the walking site. And fingers crossed, at the moment the weather absolutely gorgeous. Missing you all in Arboleas, but hey, looking forward to this at the same time. And let's raise some amazing. So recce pre-day of walk, and this is the start of it. I'm going to do a trek along the Rio Barossa, which is, I think, Spain's 3rd largest trout stream, and you access the walk by coming through kind of like a trout farm. So I'm not sure if you can see these beautiful trout here swimming around. Now, it's a fantastic river, absolutely beautiful. Walking trails over fairly hard going terrain, I must admit, but it's a fantastic and well-known trout fishing river with a no-kill policy, so whatever you catch you have to throw back. Now you look at this, it's not particularly kind of inspirational, not particularly pretty, and this is the kind of access point to the walk. It's not very well signposted. You can see the river meandering down below, but wait and see, because this isn't the actual start point. This is just walking up to it. And just off to the right there, look, these are all trout rearing tanks. They must keep some of the ones they catch, because on every restaurant menu there's beautiful smoked trout dishes. Trucha in Spanish, trout. So this is the actual official start, and just check that out. And in the summer this is so cool and refreshing, you're allowed to come and have a swim. And there's the actual start of the trail now, so that's what I'll be hiking tomorrow. Nearly 30 kilometers from one end to the other, and so looking forward to it. If the weather stays like this, absolutely perfect. So I'll do some little footage tomorrow. Please join in, and more importantly, if you can, please sponsor me for a little bit of money, all going to the wonderful Walk for Life charity. Absolutely beautiful. So this is the lovely little town of Arroyo Frio, which is very close to where we're stopping for the night before the walk tomorrow. And we love it here, I have to be honest, because it's kind of a little haven in the middle. So you go out for a wonderful walk, or maybe some kind of trekking through the hills, etc., and then come back in the evening and get a well-deserved meal. But there's loads of bars here, maisons, and wonderful restaurants playing music and stuff like that. So it's got a lovely party atmosphere, and just great at the end of when you've done a hard day's hiking and everything. Great place to come and kick back, relax, and have a nice little drink. And the name of it, as I say, Arroyo Frio. And it's absolutely cooking today. Wonderful. Hope this holds up for tomorrow. Well, evening before the big walk. Back now on the hotel balcony, just chilling, getting ready for the off tomorrow morning. Got to say, this hotel is absolutely beautiful, and a big revelation in a lovely cave underneath the gardens. They have the most amazing spa, great big thermal pool, Roman baths, sauna, Turkish baths, salt flotation tank. So we've just enjoyed an hour down there. How relaxing. And now a very early night, ready for the kickoff. See you in the morning. There you go, as a sign of how kind of miserable it is. Look at all these little goats. I've never seen that before. They're all standing flush up against the wall, getting shelter. I don't know if you can see them. It's an old kind of barn. The gates aren't open, so they're all outside. And then literally around the whole perimeter wall is goats. Apart from this little loner over here. Maybe he's the head of the herd. I don't know. Well, guys, what a difference a day makes. Absolutely beautiful yesterday, and I don't know, I've left the sound cancelling mic off so you can probably see this, but here I am at the start, ready to go. And it's absolutely, well, I've sat in the car for kind of half an hour because it's tipping down with rain. They said it was going to kind of stop, but it doesn't seem to be showing any signs of doing so. So here we go. Let's start this walk. Do my best. I mean, if it gets a lot heavier, then we'll have to take a look and see what we can do, but for the time being, we're on the way. You know, guys, obviously on a day like this, I ain't doing this for the joy. I'm not doing it for the fun. I'm doing this to raise funds for the amazing Walk for Life cancer charity. So, you know, if you're sitting there kind of in the comfort of your own home and it's raining where you are and everything else, please spare a thought. And please, if you can, make a donation. GoFundMe link on this post. It's very easy, and all your help and support would be so much appreciated. So wish me luck, guys, and I'll keep you posted throughout the walk as best I can. See you later. Just thought I'd film a kind of bit of the scenery as I'm on my way, which I'm sure you guys will enjoy. But I mean, it's very beautiful even on a day like this when it's pouring down with rain. But in a kind of warmer months, this is just so picturesque, and there's loads of points along this fantastic river, the Rio Barossa, where you can kind of hop into the river, take a dip, freshen up. As you can see, you know, this is a well managed kind of walking trail. Now, the object of the walk today is going to be around 29 kilometres, but that's basically walking up to the very end of this, kind of going a little bit further, turning around and coming back again. Now, that's all going to be dependent on the weather today, but going to give it my best shot. That's actual spring water, so yes, you can drink from that. I don't know if you can see there, these are figs just coming out. But you're in an absolutely beautiful forest at the same time as kind of following the path of the river. Now, from what I remember, this just gets more and more beautiful the further you go. I've done the walk many times, but never the whole route. And there's a I'll explain when we get there, but there's a hydroelectric station and it looks like that's the end of the walk, but apparently I've read up on it and it gets very mountainous from there on in, but it carries on. So I'll take a look at that when I reach the hydroelectric station and let you know. Now the one thing, yes, there is Fuente Springs and stuff like that along here, so you can get drinks of water and refreshment, but what you can't do is get anything to eat once you're out on the walk. So if you're going to come and do this, follow in the footsteps, and please make sure you bring a nice packed lunch and a little picnic. I'm giving you that great advice. There's absolutely sod all in my bag at the moment because we left too early this morning before the cafes and everything were open. Great planning, Rich. So guys, I'm about 45 minutes in now, and thankfully the rain's eased off. I know this sounds absolutely dopey, I love my walking or whatever, but I've got no kind of special watch that gives me the distance. I've got nothing that gives me altitude or temperature or anything like that, and I did have a feeling, but I'm now totally out of Wi-Fi, so kind of really off the radar. I love this part of the walk now. What you might be able to see, I don't know, but other side of this bridge, beautifully deep, crystal clear pool. So had many a dip here over the years. But no less enjoyable because of that. Just the biggest break is that the rain stopped and it's a lot calmer. Fingers crossed. They do predict more later on. I looked at the kind of weather this morning, but hopefully we can break the back of this before the real heavy ones hit, the thunder and the lightning. Hope you're safe wherever you are as well. I hope there's no torrential storms there. Obviously we're a long way away. Absolutely cracking route this. And come on, keep those donations coming in please for Walk for Life. They need your help, guys, and the work they do for cancer sufferers locally in Arboleas, you know, genuinely it's just beyond words really what they do. So understandably a charity very dear to our hearts, and any little bit we can do to help, the better. I've got when I've done my previous walks, I have people along with me normally and singing and Spotify and all this kind of stuff, but today nothing. The sound of that there river. I have to sing to myself, but I'm going to spare you that one. So this bit here, when you look on Tinternet, is probably one of the most photographed parts of the walk. But look, essentially it's a kind of timber bordered walkway. The river's still the main star of the show. And the rain still holds off. Now guys, how beautiful is that? I have to say, other than the Camino, or sections of the Camino, this is probably the most beautiful walk I've ever done in the whole of Spain in terms of kind of natural, the beauty, the total environment really. Absolutely incredible. Of course, normally in the kind of main season there'll be a lot more walkers along here, but it still never really gets ever that busy. So you can see this crystal, beautiful clear pool, so, and it's super hot, perfect refreshment stops. down in the valley. The rain's still off as well, which is fantastic, but it's good to be back on this one, guys, I must admit. Sorry if this is a bit boring just watching me yomping away, but I hope the video's kind of not only raising good cash for Walk for Life, but highlighting to some of you a beautiful area of Spain that you might never have even heard of. I'm just in awe, kind of dumbstruck really. It's such a moving, beautiful place. Well guys, I've walked what they say is the kind of end of the trail, which is apparently 12 kilometres, taking me just over 2 hours to do it. You end up at this kind of hydroelectric station here in a, look at the backdrop, I don't know if you can see that. But according to my notes, it's not the end of the trail, so I have to do a little dog leg past this, but I'm going to stop here for a breather first. It took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to this stage, but there's another 2 or 3 kilometres going up towards the top of that, so not looking forward to that, because I'll be honest, I'm absolutely bloody cream cracker that I've still got to do all the way back. But well, I've earned this breather, I know that much now. Gotta be bonkers. So guys, this is what the track turns into at the end of the so-called route. They say you can carry on, as I say in the notes it said it now becomes very rough terrain, and they're not lying. Oh my gosh, I've got 2 or 3 more kilometres on this. Here we go. Heck, this ain't easy walking. It really is kind of worth pushing on past the end of the trail there, but it's tough going, but you're getting these beautiful waterfalls, cascadas. Incredible. I mean, this pathway isn't maintained at all, so I suppose it's, if you can walk it, you can walk it. If you can't, you can't. And I don't know if you can see up on the rock there, just these beautiful waterfalls cascading down. But by golly, guys, this is tough terrain, and virtually up, up, up. Not many downward parts here. Wow. And you can see all the rocks and boulders over the path, very uneven. Not a part I've ever walked before, but very beautiful nonetheless. Look at that, look at that stunning backdrop. See it? Whoa, you really are up here with the eagles. Yay! I've done it. Wow, that was absolutely fantastic. Tough going, but really, really enjoyable. Thankfully the rain held off other than at the start. It's taken me just shy of 6 hours, and I've done 0.2 under 30 kilometres. The sun's still out. Not quite the same as arriving back to the main Walk for Life. Someone to hand me a nice medal and people cheering, and someone to buy you a nice cold drink. Saying that, we might be holed up in the cafe at the end here, hopefully, and with an Aquarius. I've not even been able to call because there's no phone signal or anything. But listen, please, if you can, help the fantastic Walk for Life. There'll be a link to my GoFundMe page, and also I'd like to dedicate that walk to the memory of our good friend Deb. That was for you, love. I'm dreaming of food now, guys, so I need to go and get some lunch. If it's something nice, I might film that for you. Take care, see you soon, bye. Well, I'm going to make this the final clip. Back at the hotel, very well fed, nicely watered, just had a beautiful bottle of Vino Blanco. Timed it absolutely perfect because I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but the skies have opened again. On the plus side, I've discovered this year's Christmas tree. Just got to cut it down. Just kidding. And now just going to go and take part in that very well or very appropriate Spanish tradition, siesta. I'm kind of aching and lifeless from the waist down at the moment. So hopefully when I've had a few hours skip, I'll wake up. Oh, thunder. Not used to that at this time of year, especially as June is just about to start. But listen, I hope you've enjoyed a kind of introduction to the Cazorla. What a beautiful part of Spain, and if you ever get the chance to visit, please do so because you won't be disappointed. Not easy to get to, I appreciate, but there we go. And please, if you can, give a little bit of Spondulix, much needed, for the Walk for Life cancer charity. GoFundMe link at the bottom of this post will be so much appreciated. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. And I'll leave you with a kind of mist rising off the mountains. See you soon. So just as a little kind of addendum, as if I didn't do enough walking yesterday, this is an absolutely fantastic trail. Look for this sign, this horrible grotty looking building here, and then you can see some kind of steps going up behind it, and it just leads to the most amazing walking trail. So this is at the back of that grotty looking building, some kind of water station. It doesn't look like much, does it? Look, this horrible water pipe, and you can just see a little kind of fairly nondescript trail. This is what you pick up and wait and see what awaits. So as you can see, it's a very little tiny trail, to be honest. You know, this isn't fit for kind of bicycles or people with buggies and stuff like that, but perfectly walkable. Although at the beginning it just starts with a fairly steep up, which is what I'm doing at the moment. But a very little known kind of path and walkway, and some amazing kind of parts of the river you'll come across, and waterfalls, etc. So it's well worth the kind of yomp. But appreciate it's not the easiest. Discovered this many years ago, and have been coming back as regularly as possible. Not as often as I'd like. So this is what awaits at the top of the first rise, and you can hear the river gushing away below. It's quite a way below at this point, and then that gives you some idea of how kind of narrow the trail is. I've already seen two beautiful little deer, a bit camera shy, they don't like to pose. And there's not another soul about on this track, probably all having nice lunches. See the river just down there in the valley at the bottom. They do a lot of canyoning here, you know, where you sit on your bum and go down the river. Just look at this amazing gorge. You can see the water crashing down. And I've literally walked 7 minutes from where I parked the car on the main road, so you don't have to come too far. But how beautiful is that? Look at that amazing pool there. So there you go, guys, a little add-on. So for those intrepid walkers and those who like to get out and explore, another one for the diary, I'm sure. Wendy's back enjoying her siesta, but she's missed out on this one. And just when I thought the trail was going to end, I squeezed through a very narrow gap and up some rocks, and then this was on the other side. A bit precarious, I must admit, but beautiful.